Okay, well, that's a logo, and now we're live. Oh, there we go. Well, good evening, fellow heretics. Welcome to the show. To tonight's words are hard. Welcome to tonight's show.
Welcome to season 2 of Nerds and Heresy, which is messing with him.
Yep. Here we are. That's how we do it.
We love you all. Thanks for joining us. I'm Natty Nat. That's Captain Deadpool.
I'm your host, and welcome to Nerds and Heresy.
Hold on to your butts.
We like it here.
That intro is amazing.
So smooth, isn't it? Just smooth.
Effortless, right? Just practice. I have a lot of practice fucking up. So I can waltz it over really well.
A year of consistent fuckery.
Yeah, that's pretty much right. By the way, Eve, we didn't get to tell you backstage. You should have access to the comments.
I see them.
Yeah, so if you see a question or anything you want to address,
okay,
let me know.
I see my friends. Hi, guys.
You have friends?
Yes, I see Regis and Letus and Justice. All my.
What is that like?
Oh.
It's internet friends, so that's as much as I know about that.
Yeah.
That's fair. We just recently met a bunch of internet friends, so it has been interesting.
We did. That was tons of fun. I'm very sad it ended.
It was very quick for you, for sure.
Yeah, I saw a few. Where was he? He was in here. There he is. Yeah, we got Archie Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We also have Dustin.
I saw there he is.
Hi, Eve. We're here for you, not Dadpool.
Thank you. That is quite the honor.
I'm feeling the treachery. That's okay.
Yeah, it feels a little blasphemous on his own show, but I'll take it.
That's what I'm here for. No, so yeah, tonight we have Eve on, everybody. Eve, why don't you take a few minutes to tell us about yourself, a little bit about your background, because we don't know much about you. So
yeah. I mean, there's not a ton to know. I grew up in evangelical. I grew up in evangelical Christianity. My parents are still somewhat prominent leaders in the charismatic world. My dad is what they call a Trump prophet. So that's really fascinating. Yeah. And I obviously got out of all that. Now that I'm on your show, I'm an atheist now. I guess I'm what you call a content creator, because basically I started being pretty vocal on Facebook a couple of years ago. My parents, their ministry was posting all kinds of just awful stuff. And I kind of felt like this responsibility to counteract some of what was being said, not just their rhetoric, but like the evangelical world in general. And so I started just like sharing for just my friends and family what I thought. And it didn't go over great. People didn't like it. And so I wanted to find my own space, and I moved over to Instagram and TikTok, and the rest is history. Here I am. But it's been amazing. I've made so many incredible friends, get to hang out with people like you guys. And now my goal is just to raise awareness about religious trauma and, helping people critically think for themselves.
Yeah, I think we have similar goals there.
Yes.
So rewind a little bit. A Trump prophet?
Yeah.
That is a new term to me. I don't think
It's not a new term to me, but it's narrowing down who I think you. Yeah. Anyway,
I can kind of guess where that came from, but I didn't know it was an actual term.
I do like to clarify always when I do things like this that my dad is not Greg Locke. because that's the first thought. And
that was the name that popped up. Yep.
It's not that bad.
Okay. Okay, that helps.
It's not great. It's not that bad.
That's fair.
Yeah, so I come from a charismatic background. I went to Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry. If that tells you anything.
That does, actually.
Yeah.
I
was a worship leader there. I was literally leading worship there the week that I
wait, sorry, I missed that. Where were you the worship leader at?
Bethel Supernatural School of Ministry.
Oh, where's that located?
It's in
again?
Redding, California.
Okay.
There have been people from
from
College of the Ozarks who have transferred to Bethel when they. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they're not exactly sister schools because technically it's two different denominations. One's Baptist and the other's evangelical. But there are people that move back and forth between them based off of how far right or how conservative they are versus. Like, I mean, it's like it's a weird rivalry, but at the same time, partnership between schools. So
yeah,
I hear about them a lot along with Liberty. Like there's a few back and forths. So that's interesting. Anyway, go on, continue.
Yeah, no, that's the background I came from. So my dad has, he's never called himself a prophet, but everyone calls him that and introduces him as that. And he's never contradicted it very much. So
never corrected them.
Yeah. I mean, he actually has claimed that he's more apostolic, but it's like that whole world is what I grew up in. I mean, I was taught as a young child like how to lead a prophetic team because that's what we do. So when Trump first started running for office, my dad was one of the first to come out and say that he thought he was going to win, that God told him he was going to win. Initially, my dad was upset about it and then became a big fan of it, and now thinks that Donald Trump is still our rightful president.
Wait, hold on. He was upset that Trump won the presidency?
No, upset that he was going to.
He was upset that God had told him that he was going to.
But then he was all in after it happened?
Once he was right.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
He was in some ways reaffirmed in his faith, yes?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. But I think that is a common thing. Like I saw that happen with a lot of my dad's peers at the time. A lot of different evangelical leaders that all of a sudden started coming out in favor of Trump. And then I think they started getting more clicks, like literally likes. And we all know that what that'll do to your head. And I think it expanded from there. So.
Oh, okay. So he saw this, or you think he saw this like positive affirmation, I guess you could call it. And then he kind of doubled down.
Yes.
All right.
So that's my background.
So what did you do from there? Like you said that your departure or your announcement of your atheism didn't go over well. What was that like?
So I was married at the time. I was worship leader at the school, leading worship for like 1,500 people multiple times a week, on leadership there. So it was a big deal for someone as devout as me, as all in, to step away. And so immediately the narrative was that I was being influenced by demons. I was under witchcraft.
Typical. Yep.
Yeah, you guys know the story. But really, I had just had to question so many things in my life. I had a lot of stuff going on personally, and I literally packed a suitcase and I bought a one-way ticket to the other side of the country, and I left all of it, and I never went back. So, oh my God, I love your
really
little guy.
He's my fallacy octopus.
Your fallacy puss.
He's my phallopus. It's just like I was told by someone online a while back that I should use the octopus whenever a fallacy or a type of contradiction is used, and I was like, but then the octopus would be a main character. Like I would never have him off the show.
That should be our next drinking game whenever a fallacy is mentioned.
That is a great idea. That's a great idea.
So you literally got a plane ticket and you just got the fuck out of Dodge and went to the other side of the country. That's pretty fucking extreme.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I can only imagine how bad it was that would push you to do something like that.
It was bad, and I'm the type of person where once I realize that I was wrong about something, I am fully committed to righting my wrongs, and to me, that meant, starting everything over again, and so
I'm not drinking tonight. I have to get up way too early tomorrow. But
it's okay, you have your
actually,
puss.
we'll let the audience decide. Shall I eat the bag of dicks as
Do you have a hole to dig? You
substitute?
should eat the bag of dicks.
I should eat the bag of dicks, huh?
I'm
Okay,
well
we'll
and
eat the bag of
septic.
dicks. I will open the bag of dicks then.
I love it.
Sorry, keep going, Eve. I know.
Oh,
Need
no.
an excuse. I can't eat them at work as a snack. It would be like HR problem.
What were we saying? Oh, yeah, so I left. Yeah, so I kind of deconstructed, almost subconsciously in a lot of ways. I'd already been questioning so many things, and then the last piece of the puzzle for me was, okay, do I believe in a God at all? Because I had kind of deconstructed, like, my views on LGBTQ, my views on racism, on all of that. That's amazing. So the last thing for me was, hold up, I don't think there's even a God. Like, I have zero reason to believe this. And I was, meanwhile, leading worship, knowing that I was manipulating a very large crowd of people and seeing how that works behind the scenes. And I just felt like that was so morally wrong once I knew that it was wrong. And I had to get the fuck away from it.
So what I'm hearing is you found morals outside of religion.
Yeah, that's not possible.
What?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what? Where's your morality come from?
Turned into the devil, clearly.
What?
But Captain, did I hear that you were on a worship team as well?
I was. I played the bass guitar on a worship band.
I knew you played bass. I knew it.
For many. How'd you know? It's in the background of my video sometimes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I did that for years and years. I also played violin a couple of times. I wasn't super good at it, but I did it a few times. But yeah, I'd show up to church an hour early every Wednesday and Sunday, and we would do practice, and then we'd lead worship. So yeah, we're super familiar with the. Okay, there's a bit of a like revival thing happening now. So like the worship leader, who was the pastor's wife, go figure, nepotism.
Yep.
And she picked like the songs that had that revival was like the theme in those songs, and like she was very methodical about what songs, and then she would hand us all out the sheet music or the tabs, and be like, okay, and then we'd rehearse. I'm like, yeah, like we're literally rehearsing
a revival.
What the Holy Spirit is going to do, spontaneously.
Yeah,
yep. And it's something like you in the moment you're like, yeah, this is good. You don't even think about it, but then looking back, you're like, yeah, we were manipulating the fuck out of people's emotions, and we didn't even realize it.
Sounds like we have that in common. Not a fun time looking back.
Would you say that the guilt made you find morals, or would you say that do you still harbor that guilt, or do you like of changing people's minds about things? And now you're trying, like, I feel like I'm probably gonna punch you in the face when it comes to like this question, but like,
no, I love it.
Feeling
no boundaries and questions. I love it.
Awesome.
No, I don't think I've had to ask myself this, like, do I struggle with guilt about this? And technically, I think yes. Like, I look at it and like, that is awful. I also know where my heart was at. I know that I really thought I was doing the right thing. And I know that pretty much as soon as I realized I wasn't, I was out of there. Not that I even would blame someone for staying. I've stayed in situations before for my own safety, even though I knew what I was doing wasn't 100% morally right. I think there's a lot of gray nuance area for stuff.
Oh yeah, no, it's like, I want to take a moment and see, like, anyone who's thinking of deconverting, make sure you are in a safe location.
Exactly. Yes, I had privilege just to be able to buy a plane ticket and get away, and I had somebody's couch to crash on. Like that, not everybody can literally just like flip their life upside down and leave. But so for me, like the remaining guilt that I have, I think the content that I make is like fueled by that. You know, if I can help anybody else get out of that, or even start questioning it, or realize that they're being taken advantage of, then I'm kind of making up a little bit for the 20 years of fraud I committed. Look at that.
I'm realizing my blur filter won't show the dick.
That's
like
amazing.
It's showing my hand.
Perfect.
I'm being censored.
Damn it, StreamYard. I specifically labeled this as 18 plus. Yeah. So, Jesus.
Sorry. I was reading the comments and I was following it. Okay, go on.
God damn it, Nat. I was about to say something very deep and very profound. It was going to change everyone's life.
It was about guilt and leaving and all of those things.
Yeah. When my first video went viral on TikTok, I was not a member of the atheist community prior to that. I've said this several times before. Like, I wasn't in any Facebook groups. I was a closet atheist for like 2 years. And then I had this video go viral on TikTok, and I had a shit ton of people DM me telling all their stories. And so many people had similar stories to mine, and I had no idea. I really didn't. Prior to that, I'd heard like Dave Warnock's story on some podcast. I can't remember which one. And like I'd watched or I'd listened to Cognitive Dissonance and like things like that. But otherwise, I'd never like made a single comment or anything. So I had no idea this community was really a thing. And then I just get this like tidal wave of people telling me stories that, again, were very similar to mine. And I was like, I had no idea. And they're all asking me for advice. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I went through this like completely on my own. I didn't seek advice. It's like, I can tell you what I went through, what emotions I felt, and at those times, that's the best I can do. But I had no like resources at the time. But yeah, it was a shocking moment for me to realize that, or to realize how many people are in a similar situation to mine, yours, and are seeking advice and guidance and don't like know what to do.
Yeah.
We have a super chat.
Thank you, Chad.
Oh shit, we do. Thank you, Chad.
Chad is awesome. He's one of my dear friends.
Oh, is he?
He is. He's on TikTok. Archradish. ARCHRADISH. You guys will love his content. He grew up in.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, you'll recognize some of his stuff. He's gone viral for talking about the Duggars before. He grew up in all of that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my phone's charging. It's dead, so it's in the other room. But I am writing down names to follow later.
Okay, good. You won't be disappointed. Yeah, that's kind of very similar to my story, because I wasn't out as an atheist. Like, I knew I didn't believe in a God, but I was like, the term atheist is it's terrible, just like the word Christian. You know, I didn't want to label. Now I see the value in that and helping remove the stigma from the stereotype. But for a while, and then I started making TikToks, and people started picking up on them. And Dave Warnock was one of the first ones that I had been listening to and watching. So we have all of that in common.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah, and Dave's such a nice guy, and he's a pretty good friend of ours now. Like, I mean, if I could have said like last year, I was like, yeah, we're totally gonna hang out with Dave every now and then. Would not have done that.
So funny story. Like, I of course like heard Dave and his whole like interview story prior to me even downloading TikTok. And one day Shannon Q DM'd me on Twitter. And it was like, hey, Dave Warnock wants to talk to you. And I was like,
what? Say what?
that Dave Warnock? The same guy? Are we talking about?
Hey.
I was like, first, Shannon Q is fucking DMing me, so that's weird. That's cool.
I mean, all of that is like.
And then like, you're telling me Dave Warnock wants to talk to me? Why?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's
dog drama.
He's an incredible guy. I just finished his book.
Is.
Actually.
Me too.
Wait, Dave's in Charlotte?
It is.
Here it is.
Just there.
It's so good. It's a really good read. It's I was surprised at how long it was, but in a good, like, it was really, really good. I couldn't put it down kind of thing.
Yeah. I listened to it on audiobook on the way to and from North Carolina, where we all were. And like, what I didn't get to tell you guys, Nat and Argue Wolf and Dustin, is like right before I pulled in to the parking lot to meet you guys, I was like fighting back tears. Like,
from Dave's book.
Don't let them know I'm a bitch. Don't let them know I'm a bitch. Because it's
so that's why the first hug was so intense.
That's what it was.
You're like, I needed a hug.
Was that you guys' first time meeting in person?
Finally, yes.
Oh,
my
that's
God.
So cool.
It has been way too. You know what? No, I have a new phrase, and I want to thank Archeowolf for this, because he sent me a video this morning. And I've decided I'm going to try and get the God out of my system. So it's no longer, oh my God, it's oh my fuck. And I'm much happier with that.
Always happy to throw an extra fuck in there whenever.
But yeah, no, it was the first time that we actually finally got to hang out in person, which was
super cool.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Now, are both of you? I mean, I obviously know that the guest of honor is going to be at the Atheist convention. Natty, are you going to be there?
I don't think so.
No.
Oh, what? We hadn't talked about this.
We had, but my project kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and now we're finally, yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
I will give David credit for that. So David How is the one that did it, and he's a funny as shit archaeologist. I love him for it. But yeah, so no, so I mean, if I can just like randomly do a road trip down there, hell yeah, I'm going to do it. But if I am in Kansas, I do not think I can. So it is a hit or miss. I'm going to have to know like the day or so before to find out.
Okay.
Totally understandable. At least I got to meet you, last weekend.
We were going to get together again. It's just, we just got to figure out when and where. That's
but I'll get to meet you, Eve, and
I'm so excited.
We'll get to meet Dave. We'll get to meet everybody.
I got to meet Dave.
Double
you met Dave already?
I got to meet Dave and Genevieve a few weeks ago. I got to go to the beach and hang out with them, and
really,
it was so wild walking in and like never having met any of these people in my life, but I'm used to seeing their faces all the time, so it was
cool.
Awesome.
Just come in here and flex. That's fine.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. The damage is done. It's fine.
We'll go do something really special in Atlanta. It'll be great.
Oh, it's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, if Jeff doesn't kidnap all of you first and decide to do things.
Yeah. Jeff is like he knows all the places, just like Eve. You said you and Jeff live very close together. It seems like, or you're both living.
Apparently, we need to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If only Jeff was on here watching, because I know he's not.
I hope he feels shame when he watches this later.
I hope he does too.
He's not even gonna watch this later. Like we have to.
We should make a TikTok.
I'm gonna send him a DM and be like, we talked about.
Yeah. So fuck Jeff, the atheist. Because why?
Yeah.
Why not?
We can just post that one clip of us saying that with no explanation.
Yeah. All three of us for that one clip. Absolutely. Yes. All of us. Same exact TikTok.
Fucking shame,
Jeff. Shame.
Oh my, you guys.
Yeah. Shame.
Do you guys have atheist friends in the city where you live?
No. Yeah, I live
You're funny. I'm in the Bible Belt.
Yeah, I live in a very red area.
Oh, I am just a little bit south of Springfield, Missouri. So we're in the nice buckle of it.
We do not have a bookstore. We do not have a single bookstore. But our fourth gun shop just opened up this past Friday. Our fourth one. And it's like right across the street from me. So yeah, that's how red my area is. There was a one of those blacked out American flags, the no war, no prisoners, no mercy flags.
I have 3 of those on my street.
Literally across the street from my kids' elementary school. So yeah, that's how red my area is.
Flying, like just down, like on the single block that I live, just 3 of them, just right there.
That's just 3, yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the Bible Belt, but I'm in Atlanta, which, turned blue, which was really awesome. And I'm in a progressive neighborhood, so I think that helps. But I don't have, that I'm aware of, atheist friends like in my direct community, which is why I'm thankful for all of this. But
right.
I did though, and this is funny because I had an older guy recognize me in Lowe's, and he walked in. He's like, kind of like sheepy, like, "Hey, are you on TikTok?"
That's awesome.
I was like, "Oh my god, yeah!" And he was like, "Thank you for all the work you do." And he just shook my hand. Like that was this guy was like in his 50s or 60s,
and
like
so
that
cool.
was like that was it. So it was like there's people here,
yeah,
but they're they can't. They're afraid to speak out about it.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's the case a lot of times, especially when it comes to the word atheist. Like, it's a lot of
it's so demonized.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, yeah. So I'm not able to say I'm an atheist in this area. What I do say is I'm a scientist, and
that's probably worse.
I can prove it. I believe it. So that's the. So a lot of times people are like, oh, so like they'll just brush over it like it's no big deal. Like, oh yeah, so you can prove God exists. No big deal. So they're like, obviously you're Christian. It's just it doesn't even occur to them that I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
Oh, I love that.
Science always wins.
Science always wins.
That's super cool.
Yeah. There's I gotta think about her name, but it's an atheist. She's an atheist creator on TikTok that I got the shirt from. The one that we ordered shirts from were Katiosaurus and Patrick and I all ordered from her for the charity stream. I can't think of her name right now. Their name. Dina, lay down. Rosie.
So anyway, Eve, back to your story.
Right.
So what you moved from California to
back to Atlanta. I grew up here in Atlanta. We had all moved out to LA, and then I moved back.
Okay. So what are you doing now?
Believe it or not, people think that I make money on TikTok. I make $0. I don't make any money doing any of the content. I guess I get live gifts, and I don't even, you guys, the fact that I'm on this live stream right now is a miracle because I barely know how to work my phone. So apparently there is money in my live stream that I can get if I want. I don't even know how to do that. So, but I don't, so I actually have a job. I am a house manager and nanny. That's what I do full time. And I really, really love it. And that's what gives me time to do this because the kids are in school and I'm just kind of on standby getting paid.
Rosie.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like that. I have 4 kids, and my 2 youngest are both in pre-K. Like my biological youngest and my stepson are a few months apart, and they're both in pre-K, and pre-K is only 5 hours a day.
Yep.
So I take them to school, and then I get the other 2 older ones to second grade and kindergarten, and then I have like 4 hours.
Yep. Those are precious hours.
Oh, they are. And it's like I could be getting so much done right now, but it's quiet, and I don't feel like doing shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, would you sleep? Can you sleep? Will you sleep?
No, I don't ever go take a nap. No, fuck that.
We're too old for naps now.
Oh,
I'm the opposite. If I have quiet time, I crash.
I wish that I could.
What bomb?
Done.
Anyway, we have a few people in the audience, in the chat that are wondering why we're not talking
reminding us about our topic.
Purity culture. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I want to know I want to hear what you have to say about it as like a generality, and then we can kind of nitpick from there. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about what? Because you were brought up in purity culture, obviously, right?
Yeah.
What sort of, as much as you're willing to share, what sort of like residual effects do you think that has on you even after you left?
Yeah, it definitely has residual effects. I think purity culture has impacted me more than anything else in evangelicalism. I have been able to get over a lot of things. I have, like, therapy has been amazing. Purity culture, I can still pinpoint some things where I'm like, fuck, this is still an issue. I know one of the things that I have progressed in is even just how to relate to another man, like how to feel safe around someone. And that's a male. Am I echoing? I can hear myself echoing on this point.
I think I'm hearing an echo from you, but I don't know if it's your fault or if
it might be mine.
I can put my earphones in. Will that change anything?
Actually, I think it sounds fine now.
Okay.
Testes 1 2 testes.
How am I now?
I think sounds fine.
Check 1 2.
Sound good to everybody else?
Check
okay,
1
cool.
2.
So what was really hard for me was knowing how to like who was a trustworthy man and who wasn't, because for me, purity culture was a really subtle thing. I didn't grow up as conservative as a lot of my friends. It was more like intertwined in other teachings. So number one, I thought that all men in church were safe. Like, if you are a dad in church, you're a safe, good guy because you're a godly man. That's not true. That is definitely not true. And I look back, and thankfully nothing like horrific happened to me, but I was in a lot of really precarious situations, and I was very naive to a lot of stuff that was really inappropriate looking back. Especially, I was the pastor's daughter, and I would like get to go hang out with all the adults after church all the time. And like the groups of friends I was in at a very young age, hanging out with like 20-something-year-old men, it was very weird. So that's one of the things. You think that you can trust all men, and yet also you can, on your own as a 13-year-old girl, completely destroy a man just by what you're wearing. Like, you can make him sin just by what you're wearing. And that was a big thing. And I really internalized that shit, and I judged other people for it. I mean, I remember my worldly cousins, they were Christians, but they wore shorts. And I was like, wow, that's not okay. And so that's, how that's translated now later in life is I judge myself all the time for my outfit choices. I'll be like, oh my God, what is this saying? And I struggle with even finding the boundaries of like, is this okay for this situation? Is this okay? I'm expressing myself. I'm free. Oh, wait, that's not appropriate for this situation. It just like kind of learning boundaries and learning like what's socially acceptable, because what I was taught was so extreme, even though it was subtle.
I'm totally with you on this. Growing up, I did, I technically am a member of the DAR without my own permission because my grandfather wanted me in the DAR. So I did debutante balls, and I did a lot of the Southern lady couture and cultural etiquette classes. And so even to this day, I'll be like, okay, so I'll ask them, like, is it like cocktail or is it like semi-formal? And people are just like, just dress nice. And I'm like,
yeah,
what do you mean? Like, I need specifics.
I so relate to that. There's like a lot of anxiety surrounding.
It's a shit ton. Like, to this day, I have a ton of dresses. You don't know how often I wear them?
Like, never.
Not at all. I don't fucking wear them. I'm a goddamn geologist. Why the fuck do I own dresses? Why? Like, I don't understand. I will still look at dresses when I go shopping. I hate shopping, but I will still gravitate to the dresses because that's comfortable. That's fucked up in my own opinion, because I'm like, I need some hard-hitting industrial boots, and I'm going and I'm looking at sensible heels, and I don't know why.
I wish it was socially acceptable for men to wear dresses. There's got to be so much like
there's only one way to make it, though.
Like it's got to be nice.
You know what? I don't follow. I do follow him on TikTok, but I'm not actively following him. The Beer Bong John's friend that like does the heavy lifting, that wears the red dress while he lifts. I can't think of his name. I don't remember who he is. But he's like got an amazing ginger beard, like good for him. He's a bodybuilder. He does great, but he wears like a super skinny, like skin tight dress while he lifts and does videos with it. And I'm just like, this is the beginning. This is the start. Like he's like, it's so freeing. And Iron Sanctuary, that's his name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
And he's
I
oddly enough a great motivator towards women's rights and like fucking purity culture. Like his wife is amazing. She's not on a lot of its TikToks, but when she is, it's very blatant, and she's just like, yeah, she just had a kid, and he's like, and I took time off to watch the kid. You want to know why? Because she needed help. and then like she's
that's
like,
awesome.
no, you did it because she wanted to work.
Yeah,
and that's like, that's fine, and there's nothing wrong with it. And he got a lot of shit for that, and it was just crazy. Oh, the utilikilt.
You mean a tactikilt?
The tactikilt. I like the tactikilt.
I'm familiar with the tactikilt. I want one.
Right.
That is awesome.
Purity culture.
Yeah, the clothing thing
ingrained. Yeah, and the clothes is just the worst.
Well,
but I mean, it goes. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say it goes so far beyond that too.
Yes,
I am used to, like, if I am, just because, and I'm not even Southern. I'm a Northerner, and I just I've been given these traits via my own my own family upbringing. But the fact is, if I'm walking on a sidewalk, I expect a man to walk on the side that's closest to the cars. I expect that. And if I don't get it, I'm immediately offended by it. And I don't need to be. As I just am. It could be a complete stranger. And if I get pushed off to the curb versus being pushed, like, I would rather get pushed towards the building than the curb. Yeah. But if that happens, I'm immediately like, wow, that guy's not a gentleman, or like, he's not a good person. And I'm like, that judgment comes from purity culture, oddly enough.
I like to try to compensate for it, I guess. Like, I now get offended if a guy like opens the door for me, opens the car.
No,
I'm like,
don't be
I can do this. I got this.
Like, don't be like that, though, because like, is it just being nice, or is it them being? Yeah, I can't. I work with all men. I literally work with all men. So, and like, I had a standoff. There was a guy that was holding a box, and he opened the door for me, and I said, I'll get the door, you go ahead. And he just stood there. And I was like, I have free hands. Can you give me the box? Let me take the box from you. And he wouldn't do it. And I was there's these weird boundaries that you just don't realize are so instilled in people. And it's all from purity culture. It's stupid.
I remember a time when I was I don't remember how old I was. I think it was like 9 or 10, and I held the door open for an old lady, and she was like, "Oh, thank you, young man. You're such a gentleman." And I'm like, "That's all it is. Like, there's nothing sexual about it. There's nothing, So like, as when I hold the door open for my wife, and she's like, "Don't hold the door open for me." I'm like, why not?
This is where I get so.
Don't make it weird. Why are you making it weird? I'm just trying to be nice.
This is where I get so mad, because I was like, now we're telling guys not to do the bare minimum, when in fact we need them to do more. Like, the bar for them is set so low. So why are we insulting them for holding open doors? Well, what we should be doing is, like,
it's a fair point.
Like, why aren't you taking equal parts?
Why are you opening the door and then laying your coat on the ground for me to walk across?
Like, you don't necessarily need to lay the coat, but like, at the same time, my standards are like, if a guy doesn't open the door, like, walk me to. This is my own stepdad saying. My one of the only dates that didn't happen in high school. I didn't have very many. I don't have very busy love life, but I got asked out when I was in high school, and this kid came up, pulled up to my house, and honked the horn, and my dad wouldn't let me go outside.
Oh,
and
I mean, he was fair enough.
Yeah, he was like, the kid can come to the door, and so he came to the door and he rang the doorbell. Like, he texted me, he's like, I'm here. And my dad was like, don't respond. And I was like, brought him up to the door, and like, it rang the doorbell, and the kid's just like, okay, you ready to go? And he was just like, come in here, son. And I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's go. And my stepdad was just like, no, have him sit down. Let's introduce him. And I was like, Dad, we're going to miss the movie. Like, I don't want to do this. And he was just like, no, I want my daughter to know that she deserves your time and attention before ever leaving the house. Like, you don't get to just show up and initially demand things of her. And the fact that I was feeling rushed, even though the movie was like probably half an hour from start, like we were fine. But the fact that I felt rushed and he felt like he was being insulted and just like reprimanded for simply coming to the door and saying, "Hi, I would like to take your daughter out." Like, and I'm not saying go ask your dad, because that's a whole other thing with purity culture.
Right.
But the idea that I was an inconvenience for not immediately jumping to as soon as it was on his beck and call was something that my dad, who is a Mormon, actually broke me out of.
Wow.
And I didn't expect that. That was a big eye opener for me. Just huge. Anyway,
a little
but I don't know if you've ever had any encounters like that, but it was just a really weird occurrence for me. And it was just interesting.
There's a big clash in like generational upbringings, it seems like, because like the other day I saw a TikTok where someone was saying, this is somewhat off topic, somewhat not, and they were like, hitting your kids should be a federal crime. And I'm like, when I grew up, getting your ass beat with a belt was normal. Like that's how we were raised. And I would never want my parents to have been arrested and me put in foster care system because they hit me with a belt. So it's like this weird, like I agree, I don't hit my kids. I would never do that, especially not with a belt. But that's how I was raised. I understand that's how it was back then. It was normal back then. They didn't think they were doing anything wrong. I wasn't screaming, arrest them. So it's, there's this big like clash of generations that seems to be happening. And apps like TikTok is making it so much more like personal and in your face.
You have to think about these things instead of just not even having it occur to you. I don't have kids, and I've seen all kinds of parenting TikTok stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Anyway.
I'm reading. I'm just reading the comments and everything.
Well, if we're sticking to our purity culture thing, what happened? So for me, the biggest thing about purity culture. Did you guys ever read Josh Harris's book, I Kissed Dating Goodbye?
No, I think I was told to at one point in time, but I definitely didn't.
I'm familiar with it. I think I read another book that was similar to that. I can't remember the author now. He had I went to a whole seminar about that.
So I Kissed Dating Goodbye. Yeah, it was so Josh Harris is now actually, I think he's an atheist. He's at least not a Christian anymore. He wrote this book, I think when he was like 19 or 20, which
I think so.
Oh my God. If I wrote stuff back when I was 19 or 20 about evangelical Christianity, like everyone would hate me as well. So, not good. The whole premise is that you shouldn't date anyone, that you're supposed to find your partner that God has chosen for you and court them and marry them, and that you shouldn't do anything physical until you're married, basically. So I was given that book. I was probably like 12 or 13 and took it very, very, very seriously, and ended up getting engaged at 18 to the first boy that I ever dated or anything.
Wow.
And as you can imagine, it went horribly. And I knew, like, in my naivety, that like this was not okay for me to stay in. Like I thought that I was supposed to be submitted, and I thought all the biblical stuff, but I still knew, like, but this level is like really bad. So I went to my parents and I said, I have to like leave. I have to get out of this. And the initial concern with everyone is like, well, this looks really bad on the church. And it was shocking to see
church. And did you do anything that upset him, or like, have you done something wrong?
Oh, right. Yeah. I hadn't done enough. If he's off doing things outside of the marriage, it's because you aren't fulfilling your roles as a 19-year-old child who's never even held hands with anyone before. Like, the whole premise is so fucked. Courageous is asking how much older. He was only a couple years older than me, so that's why I don't even like share a lot of details, because not that I feel protective over him, but I do think that he's also a victim of the way that we grew up. And
oh wow.
Yeah, so it was just like a really toxic thing. And then the church immediately sided with him. Didn't believe anything I
it can't
said.
be his fault.
Right. And so people
No,
that I was the pastor's daughter, like these people had known me my whole life.
Doesn't matter.
And no,
he was a godly man, and he was doing you a favor by marrying you.
Right. And I was happy to go along with it because I thought that I was finally getting a little bit of personal freedom outside of evangelicalism. I was like, if I'm married, then I can make some decisions for myself. No,
that's not how that works.
So that was my like purity culture for me. When I think about it, that's what I connected to more than anything, was just kind of like that loss of innocence and just the way that the church sides with the oppressor as per usual in that situation.
Yeah, I have a few stories. One of which Chad actually mentioned in the chat. So I was a nanny, school teacher, homeschool teacher. I lived in what was essentially a convent. And this is something I really haven't gotten into very much on Nerds and Heresy. And I bring it up every now and then and people kind of freak out. So we can talk about it some other time. But I taught 6 girls, all within the ages of 8 to 18. Each one of them homeschooled from the day they were born, right? And their family had them meet and greet and go out and hang out with other families that had homeschool Christian kids. This is in Texas. And they had parents that had plans for certain kids to couple up with each other. And this is what freaked me out, is I met a few of the kids that they were planning on coupling with their own kids that were like, they fit together. They had the right personality type. They seem to like each other. This is what bothers me. The 11-year-old was paired with a 17-year-old.
Oh, yeah. See,
and the 17, they're like, well, they're not of age yet. We don't have to worry about it. He's going to go to college. He'll get his degree and then he'll come back and he'll marry her. And that's how that'll work. And I was like,
who the fuck are these people to make that decision for them?
Right.
And
it wasn't crazy. The only one. Like, they had multiple suitors for each of the daughters. And the thing that bothered me the most is the oldest daughter didn't have any suitors. And the reason why is because they didn't find her a decent pairing early enough. And the age gap that they want.
So now she was too,
She was almost, and she called herself a spinster. And she wasn't even 18 yet.
Jesus.
Like, in her mind.
And
these are the people that are afraid of kids learning about LGBTQ issues.
Right. No, that's
because they don't want to sexualize children.
Right.
What the fuck?
No, but these girls, all they could think about was getting married and having babies. That was it. That's all they wanted. That's all they wanted. And I was like, why? And I was just like, the oldest one was the only one that had any initiative, and she wanted to be an author, but she wanted to write Christian romance novels. Get that? I don't even know how that entails. I read some of her samples. They are definitely like PG at the most, but they're like long PGs. So like, she was a lovely writer. They were extremely dull books. And I edited them for her because it made her happy. And I don't know where she is at this point, but I know that they are still like, their parents did not believe that they were fully adults until they were 30. So she's probably still living with the kid, with her parents at the moment. Because technically I'm not even considered an adult to them, because I lived on the farm with them in my own little cottage cabin thing that they had available for me. And it was, this goes into a whole hell of a lot of shit.
Gosh.
But Chad he brought up the whole pairing of homeschool kids, and it was too much. Like, I had to change that's where the dresses thing came from. Is like, I had dresses before as well, but I had to wear dresses on the farm. Like, I absolutely had to. I was not allowed to wear pants.
Right.
That was just it. And I couldn't wear anything that was
seem practical,
that like showed my shoulder. It had to be down. So it was just it was an interesting little tidbit. Anyway, so that's that story. I also have a quick one from high school. I remember a friend of mine who was in theater with me. He so get this shit. He was cast as a main character. They're both very, very Christian. This is I'll go ahead and say the place that this is from, but I'm not going to say names. This is Branson, Missouri. Okay. Branson, Missouri High School. A lot of funding goes into the theater program. A lot of people have kids that are like starlet kids that do theater and such. Yeah. So, this kid got a lead role to sing and dance in the musical, right? And he has to kiss the girl at the end. Like, that's part of the thing. Now, get this. This kid that got cast, he had been dating or courting this girl who was a year younger than him for 2 years. And they had never done anything more than hold hands, and they were already engaged. And now he had to tell her that his first kiss, granted, it wasn't his first kiss because I knew him and I had seen him in junior high, and I had seen him make out with at least 3 other girls within like a 5-hour. Yeah, because band camp is a thing. Anyway, but he had been dating her, and he had been born again Christian, absolutely 100%. And he had to tell her that he had to kiss this other girl on stage, and she was very sad about it. And it was very upsetting. And she constantly like cried about it backstage. Like anytime they were doing rehearsal without them actually doing it, it was just like, he would only kiss her like on the night of, but it was just a lot of, come here. Sorry. I have dog issues, but yeah, those kisses don't count though. Yes, exactly. So the kisses don't count, but the girl,
and you can restore your virginity. You know, that's the whole thing.
Right. So he was doing God's will. It was all pretend. And she would be backstage absolutely crying. And I would be sitting there hugging her and trying to calm her down while he was out there singing the last love song ballad to her and like to the other girl. And I mean, obviously they weren't involved or anything, but it was just such a commotion. And I'm pretty sure if I look them up on Facebook, they are in fact married and have multiple kids. And I am so scared because this girl did not have.
God damn it, webcam girl.
We have a webcam girl hanging out with us, guys.
Man, awesome, great, yeah, cool.
These
totally
emojis
Christian. Love it. No, even better. As long as this isn't some form of like, what am I thinking of?
Go
away. Like, sexual like slavery, or like I'm just like, yeah, damn, hot girls, yeah, get some. If that's how you make money, do it. Go for it. Way to go.
Right.
But yeah. Chad Harris was blocked. Why was Chad blocked?
Chad was blocked?
Chad, no.
Chad was blocked. Chad is not who I was.
You guys, that's me in my lives. I always accidentally block people.
Did he accidentally? Yeah. I mean, I know I was trying to block the webcam girls.
Oh, well.
Maybe.
Anyway. But yeah, I think it's really interesting. And I don't like saying this about most girls, because when I first came out of purity culture, I was just like, oh yeah, girls are idiots. They don't realize what they're doing. And I feel like this girl has never once had anyone open her eyes ever. So she is blissfully ignorant. And
yeah, when
it's almost relaxing to know that she's blissfully ignorant rather than living in the hell that she has now designed as her life.
Yeah,
from that push. But anyway,
yeah, it's hard when you're indoctrinated into it and you think that you're pleasing the creator of the universe by how you are dressing and behaving around the opposite sex. The funniest thing about purity culture is it doesn't take into account that not everyone is heterosexual.
Oh, so, yes. Oh,
so there's not like modesty amongst girls. It's not like the guys have to be careful around each other. I'm sure there are groups where that even happens, but I was never taught that, you know?
No, you can absolutely change in front of other women as long as there are no men present.
Yeah, I saw everything all the time. I was like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
You know,
hi. Tits.
The funniest thing about like Pray the Gay Away camps. Of all the stories
they're putting a bunch of gay people together.
Is like they put all these like guys who were struggling with homosexual desires, and they put them in football teams in these camps, and they're like these are all like people who have deconstructed and embraced their homosexuality, and they're like, yeah, they put us in locker rooms where we got to watch these rugged guys who were hot and sweaty change clothes, like. Yeah, not the best decision.
Yeah, they don't know how to think about anything outside of their own.
Yeah. Like, oh, these feminine
small
guys,
worldview.
we'll just put them in sports and it'll be fine. No,
Right.
that's has the opposite effect.
Yeah.
So
What
we
do you
have a
feel like?
question. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead. I'll remember.
No, I was
mine.
just going to say, Jimmy has a question about, so some people in religion think they can restore their virginity and become a born again virgin. I want to say that there are some people in the world who not only just believe that they can get rebaptized and do a born again virgin, but they believe that as like they can take women and replace their
Yep.
Their
yeah,
hymen.
their
Allowed-
hymen.
Can we say that? Okay, we can say
Yeah.
it.
No, it's a hymen. I
You
was
can
just
say
like
cunt. I don't care.
had to swallow for a second
Cool.
because it's I'm a very empathetic. When people are injured, I feel it. Like
Oh,
so I'm just like
yeah.
like this is like a really painful thing to talk about. But yeah, they can replace the hymen or reseal it or take a little bit of fat and like reform it so that
Yep.
when they have sex again for the first time,
It's
it
like their
pops.
virginity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and there's like a
when
whole
I
like
went to
spiritual aspect, like you become
they
a
talk the
spiritual
blood.
virgin.
It's a ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I went to Bethel's School of
fucking
Ministry, Chris Valentin is one of the leaders there, and a lot of people will remember him. His videos were going around on TikTok a year ago, but he did a whole prayer session where if you were not a virgin, and you wanted to be a virgin again, and he even said, even if you're married and you want to experience this again, he had all of the women stand up and literally prayed for like an hour that God would restore their hymen. And like
That's
went
so
into
fucking
detail.
weird.
It was the
No,
most
I
fucking-
heard
I
about
remember
this.
sitting
And I
as
was
a
like,
Christian being like, what the fuck is happening right now?
yeah. Yeah. Well, it's
So
just
weird.
about as believable as that one guy who's like, I'm
Yeah,
a
can we have our foreskins back, please?
could I have feeling again?
Nobody prays for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, because that's clean.
Right.
No,
Oh,
because you
God.
can see if that's actually restored or not. Like the hymen's like, oh,
You
you
know
can't really
what?
see it unless you go in there and look.
Yeah.
These are definitely circumcised.
I was about to say,
I
are
love that they're
your
blurred
bag
out.
of dicks
No,
circumcised?
no, here you go.
Oh,
This is not
yeah.
a circumcised bag of dicks.
Definitely
Or no, that
circumcised dick.
is a
I'm eating
circumcised
circumcised dick.
Courageous was asking me, do you feel more comfortable in your skin now? Like you have ownership of your body now that it's not owned by your future spouse? Yes. Do I know what to do with that freedom all the way yet? Still working
Sorry,
on
I'm
it.
trying to find that.
That's fine. You figure it out as you
It's
go.
a little further, but yeah, no, I absolutely like not having the weight and the pressure of like my destiny being attached to my body in such a weird way is a huge relief. Because I didn't grow up, like I said, I grew up in a more subtle version of like we were more progressive. Like I didn't have to completely submit to my husband. I mean, I did, but you know, we were progressive. Like he still had to
Like he was the
he had to
voice of
pretend I
God,
wasn't equal.
but if he doesn't enact true
Right.
like God's true word, then you were the next step and you could
Right.
you had the power to step over his word if what he was saying wasn't godly.
Right.
But you
kind
had
of.
to like check in with the church to make
Even
sure
then,
that like this is
yes.
the right thing. Yeah,
Yes,
this
but-
is something that I was lectured on while I was teaching those girls.
Yep.
The father of the girls would come in and talk to me because I was officially like he had to give me permission to be the third in line for like teaching his children. It went God, him, and his wife, whom I could replace if she said something wrong.
Mm.
And I was like,
Wow.
I'm sorry, what? Because
Yeah.
in my head, what that meant was that he saw me as a second wife.
Yep.
Without having any like
Mhm.
it was weird. It's just
Well, I wasn't taught like an intense version of that. What I was taught and what really stuck with me was that my destiny, my calling from God would not be fulfilled until I was with my future spouse. And that will fuck with you. I don't know if you guys were taught that. What was purity culture like as a man? Like how did you experience that at all?
he's like
yeah,
nah.
yeah, definitely. There's different aspects, like as a man, like that, because this you're always taught like not to look at like even if a girl is dressed a certain way, you're taught to keep your eyes up towards heaven, towards God. Don't look. If a girl comes in the congregation and she's showing a little bit of knee, You know, don't look at that. That's going to cause you to stumble.
God will make you trip so you can see up that knee.
God.
All right. And then there's like the whole thing about like masturbation, like that was talked about. Don't do that.
Yeah, the not touching yourself thing. Oh my God.
And porn is a huge thing with guys. They don't really talk to girls about it, which I know so many girls that were actually addicted to porn. In Christianity, people say addicted to porn very casually. But I know some that were like, it was an issue and nobody talked to them about it because they were women.
Yeah. Women don't struggle with porn. That's
not visual.
That's uniquely a guy problem,
right?
In the church, and that's one thing you're taught. So like as a guy, you're taught that you have this like carnal animal inside you, and you have to like keep it chained up. Like you could rape any woman at any time if you don't like embrace God. Like,
you're one V-neck away from.
Yeah, like exactly. Yeah, that's totally something you could do. That's something anybody can do.
That is such a terrifying
so you got to be
concept.
Careful.
That
like, I don't want to be that guy.
It's terrifying to know that like people are telling men that they already want to rape women, and that it's like without God they wouldn't. They
right.
You're also, by the way, you're also responsible for the tone of the relationship. If you start a relationship, you're the one who has to like be the one who invites the third wheel in, because you're never supposed to be alone. You're not even supposed to kiss until you're married, or at least that's how I was brought up.
Yeah, I was taught that.
No touching, period.
Mm-hmm.
There was some gray area there, but like they were like, yeah, if you want to be like the top-notch fucking Christian, you don't touch each other until you're married. You have a third wheel every time you go out on a date. Well, it was the guy's job to orchestrate that or to organize that. And if you didn't do that, well, then you just, you're not that dedicated to God.
We have another super chat, and I'm already disturbed by it.
So there's a whole lot of. Is your fundamentalism? Okay.
I didn't grow up in fundamentalism like that. I had a lot of friends that did, so I was exposed to that. I thought we were cool because we were more progressive than that. My mom was the co-pastor of my parents' church, so we were allowed to be more than just a stay-at-home mom. But spiritually speaking, we were the servants. We were like, you are lower than, you are less than, you still at the end of the day answer to a man. And I was very much taught that men and women are so different than each other, and the whole men are from Mars, women are from Venus thing, like
makes total sense.
All men are like this and all women are like that. And I was very confused growing up because I was like, why am I relating so much more to the things you're saying about men? I feel like I'm way more visual. I'm more like logical. I hurt people's feelings easily because I don't relate to this soft, sensitive. So, the stereotypes don't work. Anyways, that's a long way to answer that question. No, that wasn't really what I grew up in. What about you guys?
Yeah, I had kind of a sort of like my church, my church was very divided. Like we had you have children's ministry and you have youth ministry. Mm-hmm. Our church had a young adults ministry, which is like 21 to like 35. And our pastor was a woman. And and she was constantly like fighting with the board, which was all old white men who were trying to like get her to stop preaching. And one day she said something controversial and she wasn't allowed to preach for like 7 years or something.
Damn.
Was that a Methodist thing? It sounds like a Methodist thing.
No, this was I grew up in the Assemblies of God, which is a charismatic Pentecostal church. So she preached a sermon one day where she said she was speaking against stereotypes. She's an amazing woman, very caring, loving person.
You can't quite.
And she preached a sermon and she said, I hope when we get to heaven, Jesus is blacker than the ace of spades and has an afro the size of the moon. And that was a way to say, like, I hope that Jesus destroys all of our stereotypes about who the Messiah is supposed to be, who this perfect, because we always have this white guy with blonde hair. And so her message was to say that I hope that Jesus, like,
and then people got pissed.
A bunch of old white guys got pissed, and she was
what
not
denomination
allowed to
was
preach.
this?
This was Assemblies of God.
Oh yeah, that's a big no.
Charismatic Pentecostal, yeah.
Yeah.
So after that period, she was allowed to preach again, and she became a pastor again. But she preached this message against this sort of stereotypical like mindset within Christianity, and she was reprimanded for it by old white guys. Go fucking figure.
Yep. Ugh.
Sorry about the dog view. I had a dog having a temper tantrum with me. I just thought you guys might enjoy it because he was just like, please.
I'm not
One
sure.
of the greatest Bible verses.
Meetings, but I am.
Can you name it? I don't know. So one of the greatest things is I don't fucking know the Bible very well. So someone tell me what
Timothy 2:12 is that all Scripture is useful for teaching, rebuking, and correcting, and training in righteousness.
Is that it?
I think it's about women not being allowed to speak in church.
I thought that was a speaking.
I hate that. I know this.
2:13.
I was gonna say, oh, that's 13.
No, 2:13 is women shall remain silent.
By having kids only, yeah. Oh yeah, I know that 2:15. That one's been preached at me a few times for saying I don't want kids. That was a fun one. That's yeah. Timmy 2:15.
There's a Bible verse to defend pretty much any atrocious behavior. So
right, yeah. I just remember the 2:15. I'm just like, yes. It's just like, Nat, when are you gonna have kids? I'm like, I'm not.
I remember my dad explaining that verse to me about like women not being allowed to speak up in church, is saying like at that specific church at that time there was a group of women that were really loud, and so they had to tell them to quiet down. That was
So they were
how
just,
we worked.
They were just rowdy.
That's how we worked our way around that
rowdy.
one. Right. That's how my mom got to speak, and we also believed that the Bible was God's word.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Oh, look who's here. Oh, and there he goes.
Exactly.
Sorry. Jesus. Okay, anyway.
Yep, it's a forgery.
Ball me with umbrella drinks by comparison. A lovely description. No, so yeah, God, purity culture is the worst. Like, I don't even know where to keep going.
Did y'all ever, or Eve, did you ever experience like any of the like lessons where they're like,
compare you to a piece of chewed up gum?
Yes,
or like the ripped up paper, or the broken.
I think an Oreo is the one I did.
The Oreo. Oh yeah, everybody licks the Oreo. You want to eat it?
Yeah, I experienced the piece of paper where you fold it a bunch of times and then now unfold it. Is it the same piece of paper? Yeah. Is it really the same? No. Can you undo it? No. And that was, I was like, oh God. All right.
Yeah, no.
It's permanent. My heart is permanently altered and disfigured now because I had feelings for somebody before the husband or wife that God had for me. Like,
I was afraid to have a crush on anyone. I would like write it in a secret journal and keep it like in a hole in the wall, and felt really evil about it.
I had someone that I knew, again, this is not same person, but like same clique of people that I remember from high school, who was, how do I put this? He had multiple crushes on multiple women, and therefore thought that God was telling him that he needed to marry multiple women. And I was like, I'm sorry. You go to the same church as this other person, right? The one that won't hold hands, that one, right? But you can have multiple, but that one can't even touch his potential. No. Just making sure.
What season of Womblands was this?
I don't know.
Oh God.
Fucking knew.
The day I never hear about that again.
Where's my wand?
So nice. Is this
I'm sorry to bring that in.
For you page? Is that just all
I
of
think
TikTok at this
so.
point? Are we just on this
it's
weird
gone.
dark side?
It's gone away now for the most part. But like every now and then I get something.
Unfollowed. I've blocked everyone I can. It's still showing up.
Yeah,
Like,
it still comes up.
you're
Some
like,
of them
"God damn
are
it, stop
really
talking
funny.
about it."
There was one lady that was she looks like she did an amazing job. She just kind of like did the dead giveaway. She's like, deep in my womb. Womb.
Oh,
She's like,
yeah.
does it mean like a be a woo? It's like, woo. Like,
That is amazing. I have several mutuals that are on native TikTok that are indigenous, and they have posted some of the best. Then I'm like, all right, I can sign off on this. This is good.
I have a few mutuals that are from Oklahoma, and they're just like, these fucking Navajo. And I'm just like, this is horrible. This is horrible. I can't laugh at this. But they're
So what is the role of purity culture in the Womblands saga? That's what we're doing here. We're trying to connect.
Monogamy. They were glorifying monogamy, which was taught to us through purity culture.
Right.
And not everyone is monogamous, apparently.
But I will say a bad thing. If your partner's should I tell her about the date? That one guy I went on a date with that was like, yeah, I want you to be one of my girlfriends. And I was like, okay. And then he's like, yeah, but it hasn't worked out in the past. Like I wanted to be polyamorous. And like I was like, okay, well, I'm just like, okay.
That's like the new thing.
He had recently divorced his wife because he didn't tell her that he was polyamorous and was sleeping with like 3 other women.
That just
and he's like, he didn't tell any of them. And I was like, that's not how polyamory works. Like, that's not it.
Oh, man.
And it was just awful. I was just like, I don't think no, it's okay. We don't have to talk ever again.
Yeah.
That was one of the most shocking. Growing up so my parents they're more prominent now than they were then, but they were traveling ministers all the time. And so we went to lots of different churches and I met lots of different like evangelical leaders that are kind of a big deal now. So many of them have cheated on their wives. So many of them. And they get reinstated. They get redeemed and prayed for and everything's fine. The woman that they cheated with, gone. You'll never hear from her again. She's not allowed,
it's not even always the one that cheated. It's the wife. Like if the wife the wife decides that a divorce is needed, she'll get excommunicated basically, and the new person that he cheated with will be married almost immediately and welcomed into the group.
Here's the problem. The guy, they are all too willing to forgive the guy.
Yeah.
But then they blame the woman. They're like, okay, you're forgiven, brother. You sin. Yep. We're sinful. It's fine. It's all good. You're washed in the blood of Jesus. You're good.
Oh,
what was your wife doing wrong? Was she not pulling her weight in the relationship? Was she not fulfilling her role? What did she do wrong?
You know, I heard she didn't attend Sunday school like last week. That's a big issue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or, you know, she said she'd participate in the bake sale, but she only brought like 1 cake.
Yeah. And it didn't,
not even kidding. That's the type of bullshit you'll get.
What the fuck?
I have a random question about purity culture.
Sure.
Did you guys ever listen to Rebecca St. James?
Oh, yes.
Oh, really?
Listen.
I was obsessed with her. I went to her shows several times. Do you remember her song "Wait for Me"?
Yes.
So I got this sex talk, which was like not even a real sex talk, at a Rebecca St. James concert because my mom was like, "We're gonna go see Rebecca St. James, and she's gonna talk about how true love waits." And then while we're waiting on the concert to start, my mom is like, "Let's have a picnic," and gives me the sex talk, which was a very
what a great way
not
to do
full story.
That sounds awkward.
And then straight into Rebecca St. James. For those who don't know, she's she still is a Christian singer, and her song "Wait for Me" was all about. It literally starts off like, "Darling, don't you know that I dream about you?" And it's all about how the fact that I remember this, you guys, shows how much it fucked with me. But it's all about
how she's horny.
Yes,
she's not doing shit about it.
Horny for her future husband and singing how she's gonna save it for him. It's just the whole song is about that, and that absolutely shaped my view on purity culture.
Yeah, there's such a disproportionate amount of responsibility that's placed on women than there is on men within purity culture.
Wasn't there?
But it's just as harmful to men for sure, because I think
it is.
Men feel I
can tell you firsthand it is.
Yeah. Because you lose your power. Like you feel it's like on the one hand, you're told you're like the most powerful one in the relationship. On the other hand, you're also the one most susceptible to just like being a complete monster.
Right. No. Oh,
Yeah.
oh there he goes
So
again.
for like,
no. Sorry.
Yeah. So for like women, it's like you have no power at all. Other than like a few small things where you need to do this, you need to make sure you do all this correct. And for the guy, it's like you have all the power, so you need to make sure you are doing all of this correctly.
Yeah.
And if you fuck up, then it's that's your fault. But the problem is when the guy does fuck up again, you're forgiven, no problem. You're a guy, you're horny all the time. It's normal. But the woman, she could have done better. She could have done better.
Yep.
So
yeah, there's always looking to see what the woman did wrong. Everyone's talking about promise rings now. I had a promise ring, so I wore it on my ring finger, and it said "True Love Waits," and I hated that ring so much. So maybe when I was like 14 or 15, I went and bought myself another one, which I still have, and I wear on my other hand as kind of like a fuck you to purity culture. Like I fucking own myself. But I totally had a purity ring. Did you have one?
Me?
Either of you?
I didn't.
I was gonna say,
I had friends who
know
did.
if Dadpool did.
Okay.
I had plenty of people that had promise rings. At one point in time, I thought
I secretly wanted one, but like that was like exclusive to like the girls. Like the girls said they had a there was like a whole like little seminar that they all went to, and they did like this True Love Waits like thing, and they did like a year dedication to dating Jesus thing, and they all got purity rings like at that thing, and like secretly I was kind of jealous of it.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
I asked my mother at one point in time for a purity ring. I was like, Mom, do I need a purity ring? And she just looked at me and she's like, well, you have a lot of rings, go pick one. And I was like, wait, isn't it supposed to be like some special thing? And she's if you feel the need to have a purity ring, you can go pick one. She was just like, just go pick one. So you have a bunch of rings, you're fine.
Damn.
And I was, and like in my head I was just like, isn't it supposed to be like some deep and meaningful thing? Like,
right.
Like, what do I do?
And like when you're in the moment, you're like, oh yeah, this is cool, this is right. But like now that we are here, when you're looking back, you're like, why is everybody so fucking concerned about my virginity?
Yeah.
Like, why is everyone trying to put a piece of metal around my finger to preserve my virginity for some other guy?
And
like,
virginity it's just a social construct. It's not even like a real thing. Because what is virginity for someone that's in any relationship other than a heterosexual relationship, or someone that's intersex, or basically it's so like the idea of virginity is so obsessed with heterosexual genitalia, and it's just it's weird. It's gross.
Well, first off, I have like 9 things I want to say, and I don't know how. Well, one of them is there's this tribe that is in South America that in the 1980s, 1990s was studied by a few anthropologists, and it was a very sex positive culture. Like as soon as a woman became of age, it was welcomed and encouraged to go and fuck around with all the boys and just like, and do whatever you want. Pleasure was a happy thing because it makes you happy. It was a good thing, period. That was it.
Yeah.
And until an anthropologist came in and started asking him, it's like, well, don't you just want one? And he literally fucked over the entire village because he got them to think that it was more special when you choose just one person. And
really?
It was just yes. And this is
I am not familiar with this story.
It's not talked about very much. It's one of those things in anthropology where they're like, well, we fucked up.
Yeah, I bet.
It's one of those things.
For real.
Yeah, I cannot think of the tribe. I will do some research. I would do research right now, but my computer is like all sorts of like mad at me. So I'm not. I
wonder in that tribe, like if consent was a thing, because that's the other thing missing from purity culture and Christianity. Like consent. I mean, we all know.
Oh, consent was absolutely.
When it comes to Christianity, consent about anything is unheard of. Like it's
consent was
preached against.
Huge. So. If a girl says no, I don't want you, the guy can't he can't touch her, and the village would shame anyone who would come close to it. Like if this guy. Like she would be very open about it. She'd be like, that one, I don't want anything to do with him.
Nice.
And he'd be like, I want her.
and they would be like, you can't have her. Like, he can have her and he can have her, but you can't have her. That's not okay.
Wow.
And like jealousy was also like it was super frowned upon. Like, I mean, you get shunned from the village and it was just so weird. It was I could go on for hours about this because it was a really, really fascinating case. And like, I've talked to a lot of people about it, but oh shit, I had something else I wanted to say and I totally forgot about it. I'll come back to it in a minute.
Yeah. Cultural anthropology. Cultural anthropology and sexuality is a fucking fascinating topic.
So
because like, there's a whole nother tribe where, and also I can't remember, but like the breasts are not a sexual organ,
right?
But the knees are.
Yes.
So you see these women, and they're never wearing.
Yeah,
tops.
it's a cultural society teaches
but they have their knees. Their fucking kneecaps are always covered because that's when like you expose your kneecap. Oh fuck, baby. That's where it's at in that culture because so it's.
In our like Western culture, it used to be provocative to show your ankles. So
yeah.
Even in modesty culture and purity culture within Christianity nowadays, there's still different standards.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was allowed to wear pants. That's not a thing for a lot of denominations still, you know? So there, it's so cultural. It's hilarious that they think that it's tied into God at all.
Right.
Any of it.
Well, and then there's just like, no, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna let that. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by comments again. My takeaway from this show: joints are sexy. I love it. Hell yeah, make that thing bend.
That's what it is. Joints. It's all about the joints.
Amazing.
Oh, the accountability partner thing. Yeah, so that brought up a second ago. Did you guys do you remember that?
Yeah.
I feel like that was more of a thing for guys than anyone else. I mean, like, my ex had an accountability partner for porn.
Yeah, I had an accountability partner.
Yeah, how'd that go?
I didn't know porn was a thing until college.
It was awkward as fuck.
I was okay.
We both thought so. Everybody thought so, but
Eve
you
doesn't
weren't
know me very
supposed
well.
to think so.
Eve doesn't know me very well. Hi, I'm on the asexual spectrum. I don't think about these things. When I was in high school, I went through hormonal changes, and like
which is also something purity culture doesn't think about
but
at all.
Purity culture made me like abstain from everything. But I had a boyfriend, and we hung out, we kissed, and it was fun. We cuddled, and like nothing ever happened. And then in college, I had another boyfriend, and we did, participate in the sexual pleasures, which was great. And he's now married and has kids, and they're awesome. And then I went through some trauma, and now I am definitely on the asexual spectrum. Like I thought I was before, but then the trauma just kind of went whoop, and there it went. So
RQF is confused.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the accountability partner thing because I had people ask me about it, and I thought it meant homework. So every time someone would ask me if like, how have you been doing? Have you been like keeping up, or have you failed and like have you missed out on anything? And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to do it this other day. It was fucking homework.
Oh my god.
And I was like, people were like, oh yeah, Nat's not a good Christian. She said she did all of it the other day. And I was just like,
oh my god. That
what is wrong?
You did all of the porn the other day?
Apparently I did all of the porn.
You did all of it?
Every single one.
Oh every single one. Okay. It was the beginning of the computer era. Okay.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Yeah, so RQF is confused. An accountability partner is like sort of like
it's a buddy that helps you.
It's an accountability partner.
You're supposed to confess
he
to
would
them.
check in on you like once a week, and you would check in on him once a week. Like, hey, did you look at any porn?
It's a shame tactic. Yeah, because you're supposed to be
off at all this week. Like,
literally.
Did you do it? No. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither, bro. And then they'd lie to each other.
Beg for forgiveness.
I love the accountability partners lied to each other all the time.
Yes, we
like, you never admitted it to them.
Absolutely.
You're like, no, I didn't do anything this week.
We lied our asses off, dude. Like every evangelical who is like, I fucking stitched a video today. I don't know if y'all saw the guy like rapping against jerking off. And I'm like, that guy jerks off every fucking day. every fucking
projection
day.
is
He watches the
wild.
dirtiest, nastiest shit every day, and now he's making a rap about not like that's how that works. The people
Oh
who
my God.
rail against it the hardest are the ones who struggle with it the most.
Yeah.
Like that is absolutely true.
Yeah,
Fight me.
no, this
I
is
agree.
another thing that Morgan can just make fun of me for like ever and ever about me doing my homework every night. Because I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like because no one would actually say the words to me. They're like, "Did you do what you needed to do last night?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got it all done. Yeah, I'm totally good."
Homework is now the code word, by the way.
Oh my God, that's perfect.
Homework is now like
I'm gonna make a
safe word
TikTok
now.
tomorrow and be like, I
Homework.
just got done doing my homework, so I'm feeling relaxed.
Please.
It's like, yeah, I got all the homework done. I feel great.
Feeling like a crumpled up piece of paper.
Oh yeah, there's glue everywhere. Chewed up bubble gum and Oreos. Yeah, it's a mess.
Fine, I'll stop. I'm sorry. I'm stopping.
Amazing.
Well, of course, Dustin's gonna make fun of me for it. We none of us are surprised by that. I'm not gonna do that while we're live. Never mind.
Oh, I'm not gonna do what? Your homework?
Your homework?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that while we're live.
I don't need.
There's another website where you can do that, but this is not it.
You could make
Which
money
one?
at least.
There's wait. Oh wait, no, yeah, I got it. Okay. I had a moment. No, I have remind me to tell you about dinner at the Italian place when we were in Salisbury. I forgot to tell you about the story if you didn't already hear it.
Oh, the DP comment?
God damn it. Yes. I didn't know if you were told that story or not.
I made fun of you for it. Like everyone told me the story like 3 times.
Yeah, because we were at the bar. Okay, yeah, because we talked about because the barbecue place happened, and that was the thing. Never mind. I'm loopy. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I wasn't there, but everyone made sure I was aware of the story.
Dustin was very, very sure to make sure everyone knew.
Anyway, so everyone doesn't feel fucking lost. Apparently, allegedly, they all went into a restaurant. This was prior to me getting there. And then when asked for the drink, she said, "Oh, I would like a DP." Oh. Meaning Dr. Pepper. And like apparently everybody
in Nebraska and Iowa, that's how you order a Dr. Pepper. Yeah, it's absolutely how you order it.
I never heard of that before.
You just say you'll have a DP. It's like no big deal. Or you have a diet DP. It's fine. And
diet DP, what does that look like?
It tastes about the same, but a little less calorie.
That was amazing. That was the best response to that I could ever imagine. Good job. A+.
The thing is though, in my head, I'm still thinking Dr. Pepper. I don't care that you guys all told me it's not. That's what's in my head.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we got 30-ish minutes left.
Oh gosh.
Try to get back on topic here.
Oh yeah, my Snapple fact of the day is children grow faster during springtime. I have to look this up.
Is that true?
I have no fucking clue, but I'm gonna look it up. I'll find out later. I'll tell you.
My kids don't stop growing. That's all I know.
Your kids are still young. They have a long way to grow.
I stopped feeding them a long time ago, and they still keep growing. I don't know what else I got to do.
That's a good point. So before we jump into the nerdy time, I want to ask Captain Dadpool. I know your kids are not being raised on purity culture. I understand you're trying to keep them away from it, but that ideology seeps into every nook and cranny of life in general. Yeah. So what are you telling your boys about girls or about their interests in how to deal with the girls that say they're waiting, or the ones that are they're not old enough to know this stuff yet, but what are your plans on how to approach the subject?
I don't know. I'm just gonna I guess cross that bridge when I get to it, because that my oldest is 9. And my second oldest is 6 in kindergarten. So it's they're
It's not there
yet.
I just wondered if
I
you had a
don't-
plan.
I don't talk about like their girlfriends, and they haven't asked or anything like that. So I'm
You just don't sexualize your children.
Yeah,
That's good.
it's
That's
that
a good
simple.
idea. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So like when that
Plant them,
they're
they will
just
stop growing.
living their life. I'm teaching them to live their life. They're like, Daddy, I want to do a dance night. Okay, we'll do a dance night. Daddy,
That was a nice TikTok. The random strobe lights and everything.
like-
that was fun. That was
Yeah.
so cute.
And they're like, Daddy, can we play with Play-Doh tonight? Yeah, fucking play with Play-Doh. Will you build us a tree house? Yeah, maybe soon when it warms up. Like I'm raising my kids to be kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
So like one day when they're like, Daddy, I have weird feelings
Daddy,
below
my
my
people
belt
won't go
line,
down.
then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But there's no reason to like jumpstart.
Aaron,
that,
you
know?
always ask your kids if they did their homework. That's being a good parent.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea what, like, if I ever catch my kid like watching porn and jerking off, like I don't fucking know. That is a reality I am going to have to face one day. That is going to happen, and I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
You're gonna pretend like it didn't happen. That's what you're gonna do.
I think you're right.
Ah,
I think
yes.
you're right.
And then shut the door.
Like, oh, nothing to see here. I was gonna ask you to take out the trash for me, but I'll do it. It's cool. I got it.
Peace. You go
And
ahead
then if they
finish
bring it
there.
up, if they're like, "Did you'll be like, "Know that you were working out earlier? Yeah, that's great. Good for
Yeah,
you."
that's why you were sweaty. I get it. You know, I
Yeah.
did push
Yeah,
ups
just
in my
make sure
room.
that your socks are
Okay.
inside out when they go into laundry, and we'll be
Oh,
good.
God.
Yeah, so all that to say, I have no fucking idea what I'm gonna do. I've never been a parent before, so
Yes, I am going to do homework on the Snapchat.
when that happens, we'll see.
Eve, what do you nerd out about?
Yeah,
What's a dirty
Do you
what's a
have,
dirty
like,
little
a-
nerdy secret you've got?
yeah. We didn't get to tell you backstage, but like at the end of the show, we like to talk
I like
about
to see what you
the-
geek out
I
about.
figured there
Nerdy
was
shit.
some nerdiness. You know, I feel like this is a place where religious trauma comes in because I was not allowed to participate in a lot of the things that I would have nerded out in. So
Mhm.
I am now what I would call a nerd dabbler, where I have not yet committed myself to any particular nerd field. But like when Pokemon Go came out, I had never experienced Pokemon before. Didn't know what any of the
Really?
characters were. And
epic.
a grown adult, was driving to, I lived in California at the time, was driving to like random places at night to collect
Oh my
Pokemon.
god,
So-
yes. I love
So that
it.
was something. I was allowed to watch Lord of the Rings. So I have watched the director's cut of Lord of the Rings like more hours than any human ever should have watched those. That's like what my sisters and I just kept on replay all the time. So that was a big thing.
Had nothing to do with the really, really attractive.
Oh, fucking
Yes.
the green screen.
Yes.
I just made it to level 38 on Pokemon Go.
I love that. But yeah, so there's not like one specific thing. Like when
Oh, I have
when
a
I
lot.
was 17, I watched Boondock Saints and I wasn't supposed to. And
Ooh, and
naturally
that's a
became
good fucking
obsessed.
movie. That's a
it's
funny
a fucking great
movie.
movie. I got the poster, I got the shirt, I got all the things and like hide them. So I got really into that. As an adult, I got into Harry Potter kind of, but then I realized like I think I was just trying to make that happen because I wasn't allowed to. Harry Potter world is super cool. Star Wars, I got super into that. I dressed up as Rey to go to the premiere in LA. Like I've
Oh, nice.
dabbled in a lot of it.
So you're sort of like exploring what you were not allowed to experience.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Because I was so sheltered, I feel like, I was homeschooled my whole life too. So that was another thing. I just did not grow up with normal pop culture. I'm really big into music. That was really important to me. And I love oldies. Right now I'm on a like 70s disco music binge.
Really?
So ABBA.
Yeah. Oh, you know
Yeah.
it. Yeah, absolutely.
That was okay. So my church, I wasn't really big into music initially growing up. My mother loved listening to talk show radio stuff, and she wasn't really big on pushing me into certain cultures. But because of where I was raised, like I only ever heard of Christian artists this and Christian artists that. But my mom liked to listen to 80s music. So yeah, disco and ABBA were like in my childhood.
Dragon Con. I know.
Dragon
I
Con.
really do need to go so badly.
Dude,
I need to go to any
go to a Comic-Con. It doesn't even matter which one. Go to one. They're the most fucking fun shit.
I
That's what
still
I've
haven't
heard.
been to one, and I need to go to one so bad. I've been
Oh,
to like all the
Comic-Con,
Ren
you're-
fairs, none of the cons. So
I thought
and
of one thing.
now I have an Andrew in my life, and he lives near
There you
me, and he
go.
likes going to cons. So I'm gonna have to go to one
You
eventually.
have
need to
to
go
do
to
it.
Comic-Con. They're goddamn. Especially since you play D&D. Like,
Oh, you
Also, yeah,
definitely-
Eve.
Yeah.
How do you feel
I've-
about the
I've
devil's
never
game of
played.
D&D?
I've never played. And
you
I,
want to?
I want to. I don't know
You're in.
anything about it, you
Message
guys.
me.
I know
We will
nothing.
play.
oh my god.
Okay.
We're gonna play.
I'm
It's
It's
gonna
so
happen.
easy.
You guys are watching this happen in real time, and I guarantee you this will turn into like an obsession for me. I think that's why I have not ever taken the dive. First of all, no one's ever invited me. Second of all, no one's ever explained it to me. And third of all, I know that like it will consume my whole life.
Oh,
and I'm
I
okay with that
absolutely
now.
will. Oh yeah, no, I have all the
Yes,
dice.
you know.
Stop blurring things, computer. I have all the dice. And I have like
Dirty
tiny,
dice
tiny
and blurred.
dice too, which you can't quite see that are in here. And I like this is my dice of terror, and like I have my dice,
Nice.
of,
Look at you
dice of
guys.
darkness.
I feel so left out right now.
Oh no,
There's
don't
mine.
feel left
They
out.
they have blood splatters
You know what?
on them.
I
that's
actually I
fucking
need
awesome.
I need to practice doing like being a DM. So I think it would be kind of fun if I DM'd a game.
Is that a
and we
dungeon
had to go-
master?
Yes, that's Dungeon Master.
I'm
Yeah. and I need a girl. I know I'm gonna need a girl in my players because I'm
Here I
always
am.
surrounded by guys, and I need you. I want you in it.
I
Eve,
got
you are officially invited to my DMing event, so we'll figure it out.
Thanks. Okay.
Yes, Curse of
I'm
Strahd
excited.
is a little too much for a first timer. We need to do a one shot, see how she likes it.
I don't know what
before
that
we go
is.
in. A
Do not
DM who
know.
likes DP. Very funny, Chad. Very funny.
You didn't realize DP, Jesus.
I might I gotta giggle at that.
So
one. That
so
was
in
funny.
D&D there's long shot campaigns and there's one shot. So like
Yeah,
a one
there's
shot is like
campaigns, and then
it's
there's
like
like
a
one
2 or
shot.
3 hour game, and then a long shot will last like 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years even.
Wow.
So
We-
like you
we're-
want to start with like a one shot,
Okay.
yeah, where
Which,
someone
I
like
mean,
but with
Can
a
I
one
ask
shot
a
like
really
pretty much the
stupid
DM makes
question?
your character for
there are
you.
no stupid questions, only stupid
No
answers.
Wait till you hear the question.
Eh.
Now I'm
Anyway.
gonna go blank on the show. The Netflix show, the kids,
Critical
and the
Role?
monster. No,
Oh,
it was
didn't-
really popular a couple of years ago.
yes, Stranger Things. Yes,
Stranger
That
Things.
was
Yes.
Is
D&D.
that what they're playing?
Yes,
Yes.
they're
Okay,
playing
I
Gen
really
1.
wanna
They're
play
playing the
that.
first generation of D&D
Yep.
with
Okay.
the Gormagon and all that.
Gormagon
That's
and
what
the
it is.
what is
Yes.
it? The dark side or the
The Demigorgon and the Gormagon. You
Yeah.
gotta get it right.
Okay.
Which
You got
those
it.
things you can still add them to the game, but even I haven't played with the Demigorgon, so
Okay.
That's fine.
cool.
I'm
I
I
didn't-
thought of
and-
something nerdy that
Do it.
is really niche, and I
Tell
just
me.
am curious to see if anybody else was into
Oh
this.
please.
I'm listening.
Hit me.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
I played Wolfenstein when I was a child. My dad played it, and so I played all of the games. And my dad and I made a book that we still have. That's all of the like secret rooms, all of the different codes, like literally just like our secret Wolfenstein book. And I
Oh.
realized,
What a-
why didn't I bring that up? I feel like that's pretty nerdy.
So then
That-
have you ever played Doom?
I haven't, but I've heard that I need to.
So Doom was made by the creators of Wolfenstein, I think.
Yeah.
They're very similar.
It sounds right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So your dad did, but your dad's the pastor, right?
Oh yeah, this was our little like
This is
thing
a-
that we
this is
love
like-
to do.
That's actually
This is
pretty
your
rebellious.
sinful secret of your childhood. You
We
just
Yeah.
that's why I'm
exposed
saying, like
yourself.
we walked the line. We were like kind of progressive in different ways. Wolfenstein was a big thing in our family. We played PC because we didn't have an actual console, but I feel like PC was better for Wolfenstein anyways. Yeah, it was really great. Then my dad would get like prophetic stuff out of it and be like, this is like when we spiritually battle against Satan. and
Oh
I was
God,
like,
he made it
"Yeah."
weird, didn't he?
Yes.
He made it weird.
Great.
Always.
Mm.
It's not evangelical.
That's how
but we
you
won't
that's
make
how you
something weird.
justify it though. That's how you justify like indulging in something.
Going
that
to see
you
a movie or yes.
Yeah, like there's a spiritual connection here, and that makes you feel less guilty.
Right.
About
Oh yeah, I
consuming
did
those
that
kinds
all
of
the
things that
time.
you
About,
naturally enjoy. And that's
Yep.
that's fucking purity culture.
Oh yeah.
Or
Speaking
culture,
of going
like-
back into purity culture, I went to see the Wonder Woman, like the not the newest, not the 1984 one, but the Wonder Woman with the family, like because it came out while I was with them. And I remember leaving the theater and listening to the father say, "Now, what did we learn?" And one of the girls was like, "Don't wear anything over the thigh because it makes you look fat." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "That's right. You don't want to do that because it's really unattractive. Like, you
Damn.
don't want to do that."
Jesus.
Ugh.
And I was and they were like, they kept going on about how like when she kicked in the water, it made her thigh jiggle, and that was very unattractive.
Yikes.
And yeah, it was
I'm sorry.
just
Thigh jiggle is unattractive?
apparently.
Right. I feel like
Yeah, no,
I
and
wanna
all of
see
these
thigh
girls
jiggle.
under the age of 18, all of them had body image issues. Every last
I
one of them.
bet.
And that
Yeah,
was
that's-
back when I was a
that's
size
huge.
6. That was when I was a size 6 and these girls were twigs. I started having body image issues because of their body image issues.
Yeah, give me
Yeah.
the thigh jiggles. Give me all of the thigh jiggles. Give me the stretch mark.
My
a
dog's
real
okay.
person.
Yeah, give me a real fucking human being. I don't want this photoshopped. Like, yeah.
What's going on?
That's how you separate the boys from the men.
Have you guys seen, I don't know that this goes with purity culture, but it goes with misogyny. So have you guys seen the TikTok trend right now with the guys to that one song, and they're joking about killing
what
women?
they do after the date?
Yes.
I heard.
Yeah,
I heard about
Morgan
that.
and I were talking about that earlier today, how fucked up that is. It is absolutely ridiculous. My dogs are
It's
playing.
awful.
So I saw someone
Aw.
like responding to that trend, but
That's how I found out about
I
it.
never
And then I
saw
clicked
the
the
actual
sound.
trend. So like
It's so
like,
fucked.
wait, people are talking about what now?
But it's all young guys that are just like, imagine going.
I
on a
don't
date
care
and
if they're
then
young.
I
I
kill
don't
you
care
at
if
the
they're
end.
old. I am so grossed out by this. And
Yeah,
also, like, what the
awful.
actual fuck? Every woman needs to hold. You know what? This is my gun control law. Women get guns. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's my rule.
I mean,
you
fair
need
enough.
an X chromosome. You need 2 of them.
That's another thing
and
is
you
like
get a gun.
young guys are fucking stupid. They haven't matured. They're still saying dumb shit because they haven't lived life yet.
I have something to say to that exact comment, and I gotta say it. And this is the reason
God.
why is because my mother has always said the same thing. And the thing is, I do agree biologically that men are not as mature as women at the same age as they are. Like men older, like by about 5 years, tend to be about the same maturity as women are. But that exact reason is why the church allows men to marry younger women, and it is used so often.
Yeah.
So fucking, and it is disturbing to me because it's one of those rare times when biology matches up with what the church is saying, and they use it as a fucking fallacy to exploit, like, oh yeah, science is with God. Science does encourage this. Oh, sorry. You triggered me there. You triggered me. Sorry.
Sorry.
That is just one of the things.
Yeah. No, it's just every time I see like a young 20-something, like 21, 22-year-old on TikTok, like give some opinion about something, I'm like, shut the fuck up. You haven't been through shit. You don't know shit. In like 5 years, you will be an entirely different person.
Yep.
Like, just wait. So, but shut up for now.
This is another entirely off-topic question, but I've been dying specifically, Ricky, to know your opinion on this.
Oh God.
David Ladding. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh Jesus. Yes. Yes.
Is this satire? Is he real?
He's real. He's real.
Really?
He
Are we sure?
Jeff met him in person. Yeah, Jeff met him in person with like
he's a real person?
Yeah, like they live close to each other, and like Jeff met him like in a park, and they were doing.
He
like,
lives in Atlanta.
I don't know if he lives in Atlanta, but like Jeff met him there. And
yeah,
that
was the guy that was like blessing people out in the park, wasn't it? And
Jeff
came over and
he's
asked
the one
for
who like
blessing.
cries all the time. Yeah, no, he's legit.
Yeah, he's legit.
I'm
legit.
so sorry, but it is the fakest looking. Like I've seen some real, like genuine looking people on Christian TikTok. It is the fakest looking. He literally gets like this close.
It is the fakest looking.
Have you ever thought about hell?
Yeah.
Yep, that sounds about right.
It's performative. Like he's genuine. Like he's genuinely crying and like
he believes those things.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
crybish. Yes, the crybish.
But he's also portraying them in a performative manner
Jesus.
on TikTok.
You want to know something? I think that those tears are because of repressed homosexuality, and I
think his tears are because he pokes himself in the eye with a Q-tip right before his videos.
I mean, that could be it too, but like the way he is,
like, all
how
right,
expressive he is emotionally.
Jesus.
I'm putting money on it. David,
don't go to hell, you guys. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening behind the scenes.
I'm not saying anything against like homosexuality. I'm saying that I think he's repressing it, and the release he feels from crying out in public is a way for him to express himself in a weird undercurrent of sexuality. And I don't know how to explain it exactly, but like if my mother was here, she could explain it like perfectly, freaking psychologist that she is. But like I've talked to her about it before, and I was just like, there's these guys like do prophetizing and everything, and she's like, well, they're getting off on it. And I'm just like, what?
They are. They absolutely are.
Yeah, they are.
They're
and she's just like, but it's in different ways. Some of it's like a power thing,
Yeah.
some it's a sexuality thing, some it's a release of emotion that they're not allowed to express except in those situations. And that's where she so that's one of the things.
That's why it's hard for me to be like to look at guys like him and be like, you're fucking stupid.
Bible
fuck you, because I'm like, no, like this is like redirected trauma.
This is absolutely redirected trauma.
You know, so it's like
he's finding a way
as much
to
as I
express
want to make
himself
fun
without
of you,
getting in trouble for it.
as it would be to make fun of you, you know, there's part of me that's like, there's something deeper going on with you, and I wish you would talk about it and not do this shit.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a sad topic.
I feel like I should understand the Marjo reference.
I don't know what Marjo is either. Chad, tell us.
Explain to us the Marjo. Because I'm not.
Is that a like Marjorie Taylor Greene thing?
That's what where my mind went.
For some reason, that's where my brain went.
Yep. Probably because I'm hearing that name way too often.
I need an explanation.
I'm in need. I'm living for Chad. Like if Chad just like randomly left just now, I'm gonna be pissed because like I need someone to explain this.
Hopefully he's typing up.
Oh, that would be the ultimate like.
For us.
What are you doing?
Leave us all just sitting here wondering.
I have. Yes, it is Ricky Marjo. That's what it is. What?
Oh,
really?
What?
How did I know that?
I don't know. Look at us.
I don't know how I knew that.
Because you're on TikTok. You know things.
But wait, I don't get it with David Ladding. You mean like he's going to go political? Oh, no, Lord. If that's what we have to look forward to.
Bring Chad to the Discord. We need to discuss. Margie was a charismatic evangelical documentary in 1970 showing how he did his con and won an Oscar. Yes, that's what he's saying. I believe that. He's going to make a documentary about it and be like, I did this. This is who I was. Sense.
Oh.
Hi. Are you okay? You gonna whine at me? Yeah, you're whining. Sorry. I think my dogs are, I guess one of my dogs and then the other one that I'm babysitting has demanded my attention. I will pop onto Discord for a short minute after this if you guys want. I don't know if you guys are willing to, but I'll pop in via voice and then I got to go to bed because I got to wake up early tomorrow. But
I'm not going to be able to. Rachel just texted me. She's on her way home from work and she said she's had a wild night and she wants to tell me about it. So.
Okay. Sounds good. Eve, do you have Discord?
I do, but I have a very early nanny morning tomorrow.
That's fine. Totally get it. In that case, guys, we're gonna bid you adieu, or at least I am. I'm gonna step out. You guys keep doing questions if you'd like, but
I'll tell Curea real quick. Yes, I loved Narnia.
That's fair.
Good night, guys. I will head out.
Yes, Eve, you're gonna be in my my D&D campaign. We're gonna get you set up. Ricky, give me contact information. I'm Natty Nat on TikTok as well as
I followed you today.
Okay, great. I will find you and follow you back if I'm not already following you because I don't know if I was.
Look at us making friends.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. So good night, guys. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Eve, we got like 10 more minutes ish.
All right. Were you into Narnia?
I never read the books, but I've
Oh.
read C.S. Lewis's some of his other books, like Mere Christianity,
Screw Tape Letters.
Screw Tape Letters. Yep.
Mhm.
But I never read. I watched the movies, and I like the movies.
Yeah.
And they're
I was
objectively good
super into it.
movies if you can separate the Christian dogma from it.
Right. Yep.
You know, like
Yeah,
they're not
no.
bad movies.
I loved them.
Yeah. Did you ever hear about the whole Golden Compass thing?
I remember when that came out and there was some kind of uproar. I don't think I ever saw it or even
Yeah.
knew what the uproar was. I was kind of somehow not aware of what
Yeah,
was
I
going
never
on.
saw it either.
What was that?
But like the director, I think I don't know who it was. I can't remember now. Apparently, the director of the Golden Compass was quoted as saying, and this was very, very similar to the Chronicles of Narnia, and he was quoted as saying like he wants to kill God in the eyes of children.
Oh,
And
I'm
so, like,
remembering this
as an
now.
evangelical, you hear that and you're like, "Oh my God, that's so horrible!" What?
Right.
And now I'm like, "Yeah, good, fuck, do it, kill God in the eyes of
This makes me
children."
want to watch it. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
hey, I want to watch it now. I still haven't.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a big thing back then.
Did you see the new Marvel movie Eternals?
No, I haven't.
I actually recommend it. It's on Disney
Really?
Plus. I was surprised. I think you would actually really like it. It definitely goes into the whole God thing. And there's a scene in there, I don't want to spoil anything, where when people ask me, like, what would it take for you to be convinced of a God? That scene is what it would take for me.
Ooh,
But it's
I'm
a
intrigued
really,
now.
it's a super cool, I don't know. It was really good. Yeah, Chad's right. It was a bit long, but good. Angelina Jolie is one of my like biggest crushes of all time, so I was happy to watch just for her, but it was good in general.
Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah, I was not supposed to watch the Golden Compass. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me want to watch it. What were you not allowed to watch that you really wanted to?
My favorite movie of all time is The Crow, right, with Brandon Lee.
Oh, okay.
Of all time, it's my favorite movie. My youth pastor had a guy come in who was a Christian goth, and he was a product of Teen Challenge, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yep.
So he invited him to speak, and he came and he spoke, and he was like, "The Crow is my favorite movie," and I was like, "Yo, mine too." And then the next weekend, he was like, "The Crow is a terrible movie. Nobody should ever watch it. It depicts scenes of this and that." And it's like, and I was like, "Yeah, but it doesn't depict like there's like rape scenes or like a rape scene."
Mm-hmm.
And like it doesn't depict it in a positive light. It's just part of the story. What do you mean? He's like, no Christian should ever watch this. Like, I shouldn't have invited him to speak, so I apologize to you guys. It was like,
oh my God,
that's my favorite. It's like, that's my favorite fucking movie of all time. What are you talking about?
Wow.
So yeah, it was things like that. And then like there were certain books I was discouraged from reading and things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And of course you're like, sorry, go ahead.
I wasn't allowed to watch like some very basic things like Scooby-Doo and Rugrats and a lot of the like very normal things I was not allowed to. And if there was magic, couldn't watch it.
My church was a little more progressive in those areas. Like,
yeah,
you could watch Harry Potter. That was fine.
Nice.
Yeah, it was just certain individuals who were like, you shouldn't do this, but like the majority of the church was like, watch Harry Potter, read Harry Potter, but don't worship it. Like it's like that's pretty reasonable.
Yep. Yeah. No, I was not part of that reasonable group. Unfortunately.
I'm so glad I was not a part. So glad I don't have any experience in.
That's why my sisters and I watched Lord of the Rings director's cut so many times because it was like one of the few DVDs we were allowed to own because of the dogma. And we would watch that like over and over and over again.
Really?
Yep. Somehow that was allowed. Harry Potter was not. Something else similar. Yeah, just a lot of, it was really weird and very vague rules. No Halloween celebration either.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
My church did the whole trunk or treat thing.
We could do fall festivals.
Oh, because that's so much.
That's
purer.
totally fine.
That's so much. That's Christ-like.
Right. And we didn't celebrate Easter, but we would celebrate Spring Bunny.
Spring Bunny? That's new to me.
Yes. Right. Spring Bunny was fine, but not Easter because Easter was a goddess. Just lots of weird, like.
I mean, they're not wrong.
Right. Do you, since you're like so out as an atheist now, do you have people that will say like, well, you celebrate a holiday or you celebrate Christmas or you do this, so you're not a real atheist, or try to gatekeep holidays?
Yeah, absolutely. I made a video about my my Christmas tree because I made a biblically fucking words.
Oh, the biblical angel.
Yeah, the not the cherubim, the orphanim. That was like 6 rings with eyes all around it. Like I made one of those as my Christmas tree topper, and I made a video about it. And people were like, "Oh, you celebrate Christmas? I thought you were an atheist. Yeah, you're like, do you know the history of your own fucking holiday?"
Right. Oh, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's just a desperate attempt to attack you as a person and attack your beliefs as an atheist.
Yeah.
Like they'll grasp at whatever they fucking can.
Yeah.
Because you're an atheist, you're the bad guy. So
yep.
You celebrate Christmas. Oh, gotcha.
You secretly believe.
Yeah, that's
it's wild. I'm still getting used to it because I haven't been out like on a platform as atheist. So I guess I need to stop being shocked at all of the arguments that I hear.
Yeah, it is really shocking at first. Even now, I'm like I'm a normal everyday guy living my life.
Yeah.
But then you have all these Christians coming after me telling me I'm going to hell. I'm like, why?
Right.
Why?
Yep.
I'm a normal guy. I'm raising my kids. I'm trying to make ends meet. I'm trying to enjoy life as much as I can. Like, I'm not doing anything evil. I don't run like a underground sex trafficking ring or anything. Like I would.
Right.
But I'm going to hell. Why? Why am I going to hell? Because your religion says I am. Well, fuck your religion.
Right. You're just going to one more hell than they are. So.
No.
It's very frustrating. I'm sick of the like you were never a real Christian.
Oh God. Yeah.
Which I've now decided I don't think there is such thing as a real Christian because I don't believe there's a God. So I don't think any of you are saved by a deity. So sure, none of us were ever real Christians.
Yeah. And like if you really believed that people who don't believe what you believe are going to hell for all eternity, and you want to share the love of Jesus Christ, that would be your entire focus. If you really believe that,
right,
you would sell all of your possessions. You would give all of your money to charity. You would go out and preach this message to everybody. You would exhaust every last ounce of your energy trying to deliver this message. And nobody's fucking doing that. Nobody is. So you don't really believe that we're going to burn in hell for all eternity. You really don't believe that. You think you do, but you don't.
That's a phenomenal point.
Yeah. Thank you. I came up with it myself.
Yeah. That's you should make a TikTok. I should try TikTok sometime. See how that goes for you.
Good. I've heard about this TikTok thing.
Yeah.
Oh. It seemed that I'm not much of a dancer, or I'm not much of a teenage girl either. So I don't know how much success I'll find on the platform, but I'll give it a shot. Yeah.
Correa said, "What's the most hateful thing a Christian has said to you on TikTok?" Heathen Queen had someone say he prays she gets cervical cancer. That's so fucked.
Ooh.
I had someone, I've actually had this happen a few times now. The fact that it's happened at all is terrible, but people saying that they're praying that I get raped, because then I will realize how much I need God in my life.
God, that's fucking...
Isn't that insane?
That is some next level shit. Like
Yep.
how fucking detached from empathy can you be to say something like that?
One of the people that said that was a young girl. That's what really blew my mind.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. I know.
Clearly someone who's never actually experienced sexual assault of any kind.
Right. And I wanted to say, hey, when I have experienced that, it was within evangelical Christianity, from evangelical Christians. So it just the lack of the dehumanizing. I think that's what's frustrating. I'm sure you've gotten some horrific comments.
Yeah, but it's nothing you wouldn't really be surprised by. Like, off the top of my head, the one that stands out is like, I had a Muslim say that if you didn't, he actually messaged me this. He was like, if you didn't have kids, I would find you and I would kill you.
Holy shit.
And I was like, don't let that stop you. Fucking find me. Come here.
Damn.
Like, there are guns all fucking around my, like, everybody in my neighborhood owns a gun. I think except him. It's like, fucking, don't let that stop you. Come find me, please.
Damn.
I can handle my own.
All because of a belief, because of something that only exists right here.
Yeah, it's like, why? Because I don't think this guy was a prophet of God. Goddamn webcam girls.
Another one.
Yeah, it's nuts that how nonchalantly people will wish death upon you or horrible traumatic things because you don't have the same beliefs that they do. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
things that we would never wish on somebody else. Yeah.
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 Yeah, nuts. All right. Well, I got to wrap things up. The wife just got home from work. That was really cool talking to you, Eve. I'm looking forward to meeting you next month.
Yeah, me too. Thanks so much for having me on here. I loved hanging out. It'll be fun to hang out. We'll have to post a TikTok or something.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make so many TikTok shenanigans that weekend.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be nuts. Thanks everybody for joining. Thanks for interacting in the comments. Follow Eve on TikTok and Instagram and other places. And I don't know how to end shows, so
that's perfect.
That's literally the way I end shows, is saying I don't know how to end shows. So bye everybody.
Bye guys.
Yeah. Bye guys. Y'all have a good night.